Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new series on this channel. This is Dirt Rally, where over the course of the year I'm going to be following along with the WRC Championship for 2020, only I'll be doing a kind of historic championship set in the 70s. So this is going to be a new weekend series. Like I said, I'll be following primarily the calendar of the WRC season, which is only 6 weekends because you only got the 6 events in this game. Greece is going to be some point in May, I think, where the Acropolis Rally used to be. But I'm also going to be doing other things on the weekend, so it's going to pair along with my existing weekend series, and I'll be playing it on-off throughout the year. Now, I've not played this game since, I think, February 2018, which was perhaps one of my earlier attempts at YouTube. I mean, I have videos going right the way back to 2012 on an older channel. But I recorded a whole load of videos for this game in 2018, but just never ended up publishing them because I was never quite happy with how they turned out. But the end result is 2 years have passed since then, and I've pretty much forgotten everything because there's limited kind of stages. So eventually you reach the point where you know them all off by heart. But that's in the past now. Like, I can't remember any of the stages really. I'm sure I'll remember bits and pieces as I go through them. But for the most part, this is brand new to me. But this is going to be more than just vanilla Dirt Rally. There's a couple of mods I've got installed here which is going to completely change the experience of the game. The first one, and the major one, is the mod called Whatever You Do, Don't Crash. I think it was an evolution of an older mod simply called Hardcore Damage or something like that. And it means that damage to your car is absolutely brutal now. You cannot get away with any mistakes, and it radically changes the way you drive in this game. I remember from just a little go I had, well, a couple of years ago, when I first got this game on PC, because originally I played it on a console. It really does change the dynamic a lot, and that's over just a single stage. I have long held the opinion that people are not really getting the full experience that this game has to offer until they do a 12-stage rally. Even in vanilla Dirt Rally, that changes a lot the way you approach a round. With no restarts, you going into a 12-stage rally, it's more than just a sprint and can you ace a stage. There's a wonderful dynamic that develops over those 12 stages where you can find yourself in 5th with a guy in 4th minutes ahead and the guy behind minutes behind. And you keep driving just for the love of driving, and sometimes the guys ahead of you crash out. You know that there's no way you can close that gap, but you can't, and nor is the person behind you likely to catch up. So it becomes a case of just minimizing mistakes and carrying on. But it really does create this wonderful sense of taking part in a championship and not just playing a couple short stages as fast as physically possible. And it really adds new life to this game, which I think far too few people have experienced themselves. Now, the other mod I have installed is going to pair along with the Hardcore Damage mod, and that is no more resets. So when I go off the track, the game will not reset me. There's not going to be timers telling me to get back on, otherwise it's just going to teleport me. I have to get back myself, and if I cannot, then that's it, I retire. So extra realism there. You can eventually hit the point where you drive to a part where the ground is no longer solid and you'll just fall into the abyss. If that happens, well, obviously I'm out of the round. Those two mods together should create a great new experience for this game for me. I played it a lot on console when it first released in 2016. Never got the experience of following it along as it developed in the early access. And although I played it for a couple hours a couple years ago when I got it on PC, I never really committed to it too much until this point, because I wanted to get it on a YouTube channel eventually, and now that time has come. So without further delay, let's set up a custom event. It is going to be at Monaco this weekend's round, and it's going to be against master level AI drivers. Now again, that ties into it. I might not be winning these rounds, but I'm going to be placing somewhere in the pack. I think master level gives a good spread. Hopefully what that will mean was on the more challenging rounds, I'll be somewhere in the midfield. Maybe I can improve or do better than I expect. But on the rounds I'm more confident on, I can push for a victory or at least a podium. Okay, I'm getting really excited, so let's set up the calendar here, and then I'll cut back once it's all set up. Okay, we have our calendar set up then, and as you can see, it's going to be 12 stages long. It's each of the 4 long stages repeated 3 times. Now in a real life WRC round, they do each of the stages twice. On average, sometimes they do a stage 3 times, sometimes only once. But for us, given the limited options available, we're only going to be doing those 4 stages 3 times. So to begin the rally, I'm going to be starting with the Thursday night stages. That's Pradola and Vallée Descendante, both set at night and in wet conditions. Then I'm going to be moving on to the Friday stages with Route de Turini, Col de Turini Départ, Pradola again, and Vallée Descendante. So midday sunny. Then in the afternoon, it's going to start snowing. Saturday is going to get off to an early start with 2 more night stages, one in the snow and one in the mist. Weather's not really going to improve as the day goes on, 2 more stages in the mist. And then the Sunday stages, afternoon in the snow, and finally afternoon cloudy, a clear stage to end the rally. That is the calendar that we'll be going along with. But before I begin any of those, I've got the Wednesday shakedown to take care of. So that's going to be 2 shorter stages here, or 1 stage repeated twice, 1 at midday, 1 in the afternoon. Decent weather conditions, and that's going to get me used to the car a little bit and let me make sure everything is set up correctly. Okay, as I said, it's going to be a 1970s historic rally, and I'm going to be driving the Lancia here. One of my favourite cars from the game, I gotta say, one of my favourite rally cars of all time outside of the game as well. I would say of the 4 70s cars, the best one to start with is definitely the Fit. It is so forgiving and so enjoyable to drive. I really enjoy it. The Ford and the Opel, by comparison, are similar, but just not quite as beginner friendly, I would say. And the Stratos is just an absolute animal that will murder you at any given opportunity, which is definitely the reason I'm going for it now. Here we go then, the first of the shakedown stages for Wednesday. So we've got approach to the Col de Turini Mount. So we're going to be heading up the hill here. I think this is going to be the lower reaches of the longer stage, so we're not expecting too much snow. Okay, here we are at the start line, and one other thing I forgot to mention until now is I'm using TrackIR so I can look around, and I'm going to be making the most of that as I make my way through this stage here. Let's put it into gear here and get ready.
5, 4,
just take it steady.
2, 1, go. Left 5 tights to 3 past junction bump, keep in. Right 1 long, open.
Oh, it's been a long time since I played this game.
Left 5 long, tights to 460.
Oh, that car is so loud. It's so good.
Right 4 long, 130 over crest.
One thing I remember you need to get used to when you haven't used a wheel in a long time is to turn the wheel much more than you expect. You're always rusty at first, and you never turn it nearly enough, and you end up running wide.
And left 4. Into right 4 long, tightens 3.
Okay,
6,
Stratos hasn't killed us yet, so we're doing alright.
Right 5 tights to 4. And left 5 pressed, 80. Left 3 half long, 100 through tunnel. Right 4 tight over bump. Into right 6. Left 6. Right 4 tight this immediate.
Oh, okay. Oh, and Mr. Gear already.
Into left 6.
Oh, what was I just talking about and not turning the wheel enough?
Right half long. Right 6, 100. Left 4, 60 over crest. Right 5 times to 4. Into left 3. Open.
I'm not sure how much wheel noise is going to come through here.
Into caution left 5. Right 1 long, no cut. Into
Whoa,
left
whoa,
3
whoa.
long, 100, 60.
I need to secure my wheel a bit tighter
Right
because it's
3.
moving around
Into right 3 over crest, 60.
and not in the way I want the wheel to move.
Right 4, 60. Left 1 long.
Oh,
Into right 4 long. Left 5 long. And right 4 long. Into
Whoa.
left 6, 60. Right 6. Left 5 long over crest. Into left 6 half long. Right 5, 60. Right six, immediate hand
Whoa,
left.
don't want to go too fast.
Ice patches from
Okay,
here.
going onto the ice.
Into right six. Into left six half long, keep mid over crest. 150. Hairpin right. 100. Left six long, keep right over crest.
Whoa.
80. Caution right 5 times to 4. Left 3 tight over bump.
Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but the steering feels very heavy right now. I'm trying not to hit the sign there. Okay, survived our first round, and I think we only broke one headlight at the very end there. Okay, not bad. Given that that was the Stratos, getting through in one piece, even if it was a very slow attempt, is not something I need to worry about. I'm definitely going to make this wheel a little bit lighter before I begin the next stage, because it feels very, very heavy to me. I'm also going to secure it more because it keeps moving around. Okay, going into the second shakedown attempt then, I want to try and get under 3 minutes. I don't know if that's going to be possible. That might be pushing it too much. I think rather than making the 3 minutes my main goal, just getting through again without any more major crashes, that's going to be important for me going into the actual rally starting tomorrow. What the times end up being, who cares? You know, until we start seeing those competitors' times along with us, there's no point trying to be too competitive in this shakedown. Okay, here we are again then for the second shakedown attempt. Let's put it into gear and get ready. I've turned down the wheel force down 20%, 100% force feedback is just far too strong. So 80% now, we'll see what that's like. Might turn it down a little bit more before we get into the actual stages. It's not like any car I've ever driven at 100%.
3, 2, 1, go. Left 5 times 3 past junction, bump, keep in. Right 1 long, opens 100 over crest.
Now remember, I'm playing with hardcore damage on, which means any tiny bump with a wall can cause significant damage. It is absolutely ruthless. Vanilla Dirt Rally, you can drive along these walls, wall ride around most of this course and still get to the end without anything going wrong. Even the slightest graze of the wall with whatever you do, don't crash, can be essentially race ruining. You cannot get away with it. It's a bit slippery here, let's be careful.
Right 5 times 4. And left 5
Oh,
crest,
Jesus.
80. Left 3 hard long, 100 foot tunnel. Right 4 tight over bump. Into right 6. Left 6. Right 4 tight into immediate hairpin left.
And no point going to fourth gear there. I'll work on my setup and gearing throughout the rally. This shakedown of the first round is just not the time to be doing it. When I haven't played this game in 2 years,
Right 6 over 100.
too much throttle out of there is going to be race over. You'll just spin straight into a wall.
5 times to 4. Into left 3 opens. Right 5.
Oh, that's tight. Oh, no walls.
Right 1 long, don't cut.
Oh, I can feel that. That's it, like the car is pulling massively to the left and that tiny tap on the wall there.
Right 3. Into right 3 over crest, 60.
And it's not nearly as responsive on acceleration now.
60. Left 1 long.
That one tap there is all it took.
Into right 4 long.
And that is the kind of thing I'm going to be dealing with
Left 5
starting tomorrow.
and right 4 long.
And it's why this mod completely changes the game.
Right 6. Left 5 long over crest.
This is what
Left 6 half long. Right 5.
rally is really about.
Right 6 immediate hairpin left.
It's not about pushing fast for the fastest time, and it makes you respect the actual drivers a hell of a lot more. Oh, it's feeling very weird on the left turns now as well.
Into left 6 half long.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
150. Hairpin right.
Even trying to keep this going in a straight line is a challenge now with this damage. Wheel, wheel.
Left 6 long, keep right over crest. 80. Caution right 5 times to 4.
Going into the snowbank there has not helped the car's handling either. So, what happened there? I think I clipped a wheel, the front right wheel, which was pulling, I can't remember, was it 2 left hits? Definitely towards the end there, just hitting that wall. Only 2 seconds slower, even with that damage, so I definitely, there's a lot of time to make up there. But trying to improve that, I wasn't really making a conscious effort. I know I said 3 minutes was the goal, but I thought that might just come naturally. I wasn't really trying to go that much faster, and that was it. It ruined it. And that was just 2 short stages. I have to do both of those together as just one of 12 stages starting tomorrow. So, and we can't really see, we're not going to get to see how long it's going to take to do those repairs. Now, we get a repair every 60 minutes, and a real rally, probably, you have to go a hell of a lot further without getting to any of those repairs. But yeah, I am so excited to start the actual championship tomorrow. I've been thinking about doing this for so long. I'm going to be doing a bunch of kind of supplementary stuff as well. Many years ago, I was posting kind of pace notes on our dirt rally, and I think I might include them in this, along with some of the road books I made all those years ago when I got the game on console. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back tomorrow, and then I'm going to be back on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and then I will be back later in the year on February, mid-February, for the Swedish round. And then we've got Greece. What's after that? Finland, I think, in August. And then Germany in, I want to say, September. And finally Wales in October time. I can't quite remember the calendar off the top of my head. But as well as those 6 rounds, like I said, I'm doing another series in Dirt Rally, which is going to keep these 2 mods, but is going to be trying to do a very different thing there. I can see a little bit of contact on screen there, so that's where the damage came first. And then just bumping it into that snowbank on the left-hand side meant that the car was almost impossible to drive. There might actually be a very real chance, look at the wheel there at the front left, there was a very real chance that not all of these 6 rounds I will get to the 12th stage. And that's exciting to me. Like, I don't know what's going to happen here. If I was playing vanilla Dirt Rally, yeah, I haven't played the game in 2 years, I'll get through it. And I'll probably get podiums, even on Masters difficulty, because I've done an awful lot of driving games in my days. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you join me again soon.